is alternative thinking. हमारी सोच. Usually what happens is we are sometimes get very theoretical in our approach. So are we really thinking a lot? Is there any kind of alternative thinking what we do? Please invite this. This is really will go a long way. It's my experience that has taught me that sometimes we get ourselves into a rudimentary kind of an approach and then we miss our way. So one is obviously, how do we think different? Do we challenge ourselves enough? It's very important because the learning in life is every journey, every second hour which comes to us is demanding, it is competing. So unless and until we think alternatively, we don't create a positive impact in the minds of our friends, colleagues, and organizations. We've not done what we are supposed to be doing. Uh, Positions, designation, leadership, there is a huge opportunity. I mean, I've spent, barring last 7 years of my career, 20 years in talent acquisition. There is a huge potential. You are embarking a journey where talent has a choice. Unlike a couple of years ago, where this choice was not there. So talent has a huge option, opportunity. What industry expects is how do you think differently? You'd be surprised. We have a neighbor, Hinjawadi. We've got around 2 lakh people coming to this organization on a daily basis. The West is coming to East. It's got huge innovation hubs, huge organizations creating innovation hubs. So, what is it that is USP of us? The USP of us is innovation. I'm not saying industry, I'm saying all of us. It is all about how do we think differently? How do we think ahead of times? So, good is you're in the right place, but always understand that life outside comes with challenges and there's no ready-made recipe for everything. So the way I look at it is two things. One is, am I challenging myself enough? Am I going that extra? Somebody said, वो जो छोटा जो चीज है, that extra thing what we need to do, you'll have to figure out what it is. सब में है, all of us. It'll be impossible to say that I do not have that. Everybody of us have that. The way one would look at it is, how do I make the best of my strengths and how do I work on my weaknesses? Weakness सबको सब में है, हमें भी weakness है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि weakness is not there, but then the question is how is it that we enjoy this journey? This is not only a race where one goes ahead and कोई पीछे रहता है. पीछे रहने वाला भी आगे जा सकता है. तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि it is like it's a journey where what matters is your knowledge. So I would strongly urge that if you are able to spend a lot of time in the next 2 years on enhancing your knowledge, on your ability to balance yourself. Sometimes what happens is we tend to get a complex feeling when we are interacting with people saying that this guy or this person knows better than us. It is only that we have not learned enough, we are not invested enough. Uh, that it's a human mind, so we are all used to a shortcut way of life, a cut paste, what we say in this kind of industry. But I think the way it goes is you have a strength, you work on your strength. You have a weakness, obviously, you will work on the weakness, but you play on your strengths. That's what I would like to say. And then I would also say that how do we really create a positive impact in the minds of our stakeholders, our colleagues? Am I empathetic? Am I positive in my approach? Do I believe that I need to help somebody go the extra mile? Empathy is all about everything. I mean, some of you would probably get into human resources, or I would say not human resources, but it applies across the board, across the fields. You become a manager, you're managing people. Empathy is something which goes a long way. Solo, one cannot win the race. So it is very important the ability to empathize with people, start creating that kind of a culture, imbibing that kind of a culture from today onwards, really going to help all of you. I was told that I need to probably give some insight. These are some of my learnings. Unless and I don't create a positive impact around me, unless I don't probably empathize, unless I don't think differently, unless I don't challenge myself enough, uh, I may run this journey, but I may not enjoy this journey. So I would strongly urge that learn to enjoy this journey. This is fantastic. This college time, one of the best times of life actually. Uh, this probably will not come back again. I mean, you would go back to the corporate and probably the journey is all alone. but this is a place where probably you learn a lot many things. I strongly believe that college is the base. Academics is important from a learning standpoint, also as creating yourself. This institute has a rich heritage of creating so many students. We have a lot many students from Indira Institute working with us in managerial leadership positions. I think I would just say thanks to Indira Institute. I mean, the very fact is the creation of the students to reach those levels and create value for the organizations I've been seeing. So on this journey, I would take this opportunity to wish you all the best. Important is how do you manage your wellness. I was able to understand that there's a focused effort to drive wellness within the organization. So I think wellness, because if you're strong, you'll survive. You will beat the competition. If you have knowledge, you'll always create a value for yourself. What matters today in the industry is value and innovation. So innovative mindset and value in whatever I'm doing is the only mantra for growth and development. And I think you are already there. Now it's only the next 2 years that you'll have to probably learn and take it forward. I wish you all the best in this journey. Look forward to some of you being a part of our family going forth. And and thank you very much. I mean, it's really nice to interact. I'm sure all of you are smart. You're the best place. You've qualified yourself to get into this institute. So you are there already. It's only that extra mile which you'll have to travel. I'm sure the college will take its efforts to do that. And my best wishes to all of you. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for orienting us with the responsibilities a future manager must levy on their shoulders, giving us the real job scenarios and the challenges we'll face in corporate world.
Thank you, sir. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you our chief guest for today. He is the esteemed director of HR and Learning and Development at Forbes Marshall. With a distinguished career spanning decades of dedication and expertise in the field of human resource, he embodies the essence of exemplary leadership and unwavering commitment.
Sir is an alumnus of Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Pune. Sir has been recognized as one of the top 25 HR influencers in India in 2022. He is also a member of the Corporate Academic Council in multiple universities and is a speaker at many forums and seminars. Sir also advises few hospitals and SMEs on HR interventions. Sir is a member of the CII Maharashtra Council. Sir currently heads the Skill Development and Affirmative Action Panel for Maharashtra.
So please join me in welcoming and celebrating the extraordinary leadership of our chief guest, Mr. Bobby Kuriakose.
Good morning, everyone. Dignitaries on the dais and my dear friends. It's a pleasure to be here back again after I think quite some time because I think 2 weeks back when Madhuri called me up, we have a very long association and I was telling that we are competing with each other who is graying faster, When Madhuri called me up, I was on my way to the Bombay airport to catch a flight to Manchester, our factory in Manchester. So I was supposed to go there for a few days, and she asked me, can you join this? And as I looked at my calendar, there was a program which was already scheduled, but I said, I will reject that and I will come here because I have not come to India for some time. My first set of management trainees that took in my team in 1995 or 96 was Monali Pathak and Mirali Daniels from Indira, along with 2 others from SIVM at that particular point of time. They were my first team. And Monali Pathak is right now in US settled. Mirali went back to her mother country, Israel, at that particular after some years in Pune. They both are doing pretty well. The catch is still there because on 5th of September every year I get a Happy Teachers Day message from both of them. That's how we keep connected. What I wanted to tell you is 50 years back, I was sitting like this on the other side. I come from a lower middle class family in Kerala with my parents, government servants. And when I landed in Pune, at that particular point of time, looking for doing a post-graduation course, SIBM and IMDR were and Kumba. There are only 3 institutes available at that time. And when I came to Pune, I knew only one language well, that was Malayalam. And I started learning English, Marathi, as well as Hindi. And now, whenever I even talk to my union committee in Marathi, more than them, I feel proud that that something. So what I want to tell the students over here, some of you must be from rural villages, not having much of command over English. Don't worry about it. It's all within here. Okay, if the will is there, you will be able to achieve it. And as far as the industry is concerned, currently the corporate, you must have definitely heard about the VUCA world, the earlier atmosphere, pre-pandemic, prior to the pandemic. We had a volatile, for V for volatile, U for uncertain, C for complex, and A for ambiguous. And that used to be the kind of discussion which used to happen always in corporate circles and the student academia interactions wherever we had. And now the world has moved to little higher pace. Now they call it as the bunny world, BANI. Brittle, anxious, non-linear, and the worst is incomprehensible. When I say incomprehensible, the fluctuations which are happening all around are basically becoming incomprehensible for the students or any new entrant into the field, as well as to someone who has been in the corporate field for a pretty long time, because there are a lot of disruptions which are happening over there. And what do we need to do? Because you guys are lucky that you have got admission into this beautiful institute. Mind you, in the current Indian population, there are about 540,000 students who pass out of their MBA, and this constitutes just about 3% of the Indian population who are lucky enough to be here doing this particular course across the country. And that says it all, that you guys are special. And what you need to do is that the world outside is going to be relatively challenging. And I'm not going to give you much of an advice, because my son today morning, when he spoke to me, whenever I go for a talk, I tell him, and he always tells me, Jara pakao matum logo. And Kevin, my son, he currently is in San Francisco. He works with Tesla. So he was telling me today morning when I spoke to him, he had just come back from office, and he told me, I'm again repeating, pakao matum logo. I said, yeah, I won't. So at the same time, you need to be clear about one particular thing as far as your future is concerned. You need to be clear about the purpose of your life. Okay? You need to be clear about the purpose of your life, and that will help you to decide whether you need to move into a professional life or an entrepreneurial life or any other options, whatever you have. And when you move into that, at that particular point of time, you need to basically be clear about 3 things: the why, the how, and the what of it. If you're clear about the purpose of your life, the purpose of your life can be clearly visible, or you'll get clarity when you talk about why am I here. Even the faculty members, Dr. Tarida, and all of us, it will be good to revisit in between that why am I here? What am I here for? And if you have answers to that, then you are having the answer to the first part of the purpose, why. Then comes the how. How do I reach there? Then you will have relative clarity with regard to how you need to move. And then you get on to the third question of what. What do I need to do to reach there? To address or reciprocate into that why aspect of our own life. Why I'm saying this is pretty crucial, because you guys will come into a cross junction within a very small period of time. 18 months you will be facing campus. At that time you should be clear what is it that you want to choose and what is it that you want to basically move forward with. And that particular point of time, as I told you, you are entering into a bunny world. and there you need to have some of the clear answers to this. And I'm pretty happy that most of you belonging to the Gen Z, you all are from Gen Z, and the Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha is the next generation who are basically playing with iPads now at the age of 3, and you know how challenging it will be. So if you are not prepared, what I keep telling my team, the ones who are going to come into the institute, come into our organization are the ones who are going to challenge you because they know more than what you know. So unless and until you keep on unlearning things and get into new things, and that should be the mantra here too. And from that particular point of view, I have basically 2-3 specific suggestions to give you. First and foremost, be clear about the kind of organization you want to get in. Globally, organizations are divided into 3. The past-focused organizations, the present-focused organizations, and the future-focused organizations. Past-focused organizations are the one who strongly believe they have been doing a good job and then continue to remain in the past. 16% of all organizations globally fall in the category of past-focused organizations. Then you have the present-focused organizations, which are basically the ones who will look at what's happening around and they try to copy what others are doing. And we, in professional terms, you'll keep learning about it, call it as benchmarking. And 70% of organizations are present-focused, and the future-focused organizations are the trendsetters, like an Apple or a Tesla. Or there are many organizations in India too who are basically future-focused organizations. And you have a choice that what you want to choose and where you want to be. But if you want to be in a future-focused organization, which will be your natural choice, then you have to be very clear whether you want to belong to the rest, the best, or the next. The rest, you want to be like the rest of the world, or you want to be in the best of the world, or you want to be in the next of the world. Rest of the world are the ones who basically look around and see, oh, he's doing that, let me also do it. She's doing that, let me also do it. Best of the world are the ones who look at what are the smartest ones around me doing and let me copy that. The benchmarking part, what I said, we do internal benchmarking. And the third ones are the ones who are the next of the world. They create legacies. Elon Musk, a guy who is creating legacies, and if you can be a maverick and create a mindset of a maverick, and then you can go places. And that's something which we need to be relatively clear about, and we need to move forward with that. Read the book Maverick. It's an interesting book to read. And always remember, whatever from the point of your own learning, again, it is divided into 3 parts. 10% of your learning comes from theory, what you learn here. 10% comes from here. 20% comes from your exposure. They will send you, faculty will ask you to do projects, etc., etc. But 70% of your learning will happen from experience. And that is one of the reasons why I love this institute, because from the beginning, they have been focusing a lot on sending students for internships, shadowing, etc., etc. And many students from Indira even come today. One of your senior alumni who is working with us for the last 10-12 years is a part of your academic board. I think there is a good industry academia connect, but that refinement has to happen much better compared to what it is today, because the world is changing. And be cautious of the environment. Be cautious of the environment. Environment keeps changing. Please remember, today what you see becomes redundant within a span of about 36 to 48 months. So if you're living in an environment E1, you need to have a strategies to sustain in any industrial environment and corporate environment. And if you have an environment E1, and if you basically go ahead and have a strategy S1 to sustain an environment E1, when the environment moves to E2, what do you need to do? You need to change your strategy, right? Strategy will be what? S2. But what typically happens is, we become too cozy about our own strategy S1. The environment changes and we say, no, whatever I have been strategizing and implementing has been the right strategy. And you try to sustain an environment E2 with a strategy S1. your life goes in for a toss. Many organizations suffer because of that. They don't change according to the times, and even the management institutes needs to change with E2 environment. You need to change your style to S2 strategy so that you come up with vibrant and accelerating students who will be able to contribute to the whole world. For this, I have just 3 specific things to mention, and I will stop because I can keep talking. One is to be agile. Agility is one of the critical components. Recently, a survey was done with 3,000 CEOs of global companies, and they were asked a question: what do you expect in your people? And the first rated thing was agility. Agility is the capability to align with any environment, unlearn things and learn new things. So be agile. Second is being quite focused with regard to attention to details. And third, and most critical, is being ethical. Being ethical. Your director mentioned about CEOs of companies feeling alone at the top. I keep hearing that. There are 2 ways of growing up to the top. One is the theory of Machiavellianism. The theory of Machiavellianism says ends will justify the means. A Machiavellian was a king who made his mother his wife to win a war. Ends will justify the means. Any crooked method you take to grow in your career, but when you reach the top, when you look down, you don't have anybody with you. The team is isolated. That's not the right way to grow. Grow with your own team, grow with your own people, and then you move ahead, then you will find that you are reaching the right space. And the last part is with regard to being a professional. You are doing a professional course in a professionally run organization or an institute to join a professionally run organization. What does being a professional mean? If you go into your favorite Google Mother, you will find a lot of definition of professionals, millions and millions you will get. The simplest definition of professional, what I've seen, what I've read, is in a book by Subrata Bakshi. At least some of you must have heard his name, The Professional. Subrata wrote a book, and in that he very simply defines who a professional is. Subrata Bakshi says, a true professional is the one who does not need supervision. The true professional does not need supervision. And a true professional should be able to define the quality, certify the quality of his or her own output. So true professional does not need supervision. You need to start practicing from today, so that your faculty should not remind you, a project time pe submit karo, or class mein time pe aa jao. You should not need any supervision. You should be on your own. I can see some of the faculty members smiling because they know what they go through. Second, that a true professional should be able to certify the quality of his output, that I'm delivering the best. So what you need to do, my wife gets involved with some of the management institutes for their Viva projects evaluation, etc. And sometimes I brush through it, and she tells me some of them download this from this internet and they forget to even remove the page numbers, So certify the quality. Just ensure what you deliver is the best. And Bakshi also says that a professionally qualified person need not be a true professional. A professionally qualified person need not be a true professional. And a true professional need not be professionally qualified. So, getting an MBA degree from here and you moving out does not make you a true professional. You need to follow the basic definition which has been given. And for that, one of the critical components which was mentioned over here is emotional intelligence, which will make you a good leader. In the early 80s, when John Mayer and Peter Svanovi defined the basic concept of emotional intelligence, they never thought it is going to go places. Daniel Goleman was the person who took over the entire concept and developed it. And today, emotional intelligence is something which globally, it is being recognized as a true tool for people to be effective, starting with rearing up children from young age on to as long as you are alive. So try and read the book by Daniel Goleman on emotional intelligence. It's a very interesting book, and conceptually understand so that you will know why are you here, my first question. And last part, what you also need to understand is interdependability. You are dependent on others. Many people say, no, I am very independent. I can do my own things. I manage my own things. You are living in a fool's paradise. You are at any point of time in your life, starting from your birth, the nurse who picks you up, you are dependent on her. Till the time you die, the guy who shuts the door and pulls the lever in Vaikunth Smashan, you are dependent on him. So don't think that you are going to be independent. And that's what I said, the Machiavellian theory, do not practice it. And when you look at it from the point of view of your own life, interdependence is going to stay. And I will close this with a small story which I keep mentioning typically to student groups. There was this beautiful small village, a remote village in a place in one of the states. And that village has one factory. The factory manufactures, produces jam, not traffic jam, bread wala jam. Yeah. One day, a new receptionist joins that particular company, and she sits there. And the village has got a tower, a clock tower, and every day at 12 o'clock, the siren goes off, informing the villagers that it is 12 baj gaya hai, afternoon, 12 noon. The first day, exactly at 12 o'clock, the receptionist gets a call, and the person on the other side asks, Madam, 12 baj gaye kya? So he looks at his watch, and he says, huh, and the phone is kept down, and the siren goes off. Next day again, the same call comes. Third day again, the same call comes, and this lady becomes curious. Who is this person? Every day 12 baje phone karta hai, puछta hai, and then on the fourth or the fifth day when the phone call came, before answering 12 baj gaya hai, the lady asked this guy on the other side, who are you? Asking me this question every day at 12 o'clock, 12 baj gaya kya? So the person on the other side says, Madam, I am the siren operator of the clock tower. So this lady says, but why do you call me up every day? So he says, Madam, aapka confirmation ke mutabik, I sound the siren based on your confirmation that it is 12 o'clock. And the lady says, it is so strange, I adjust my watch based on your siren. That is interdependability all along. Keep that in mind during your professional career going forward. Go kiss the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence. Your dedication to your craft, your unwavering commitment to excellence, and your passion for uplifting serves as an inspiration. Thank you, sir, for explaining VUCA environment and how students like us should be ready to tackle it. Thank you, sir.
As we end these pearls of the wisdom-filled inauguration of INITIUM 2023, I request Dr. K.P. Mishra to formally propose a vote of thanks.
Distinguished dignitaries of the stage, and everyone present here, a warm good afternoon to all of you. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge
the contribution made by everyone in ensuring the success of this grand event. At the beginning, I would like to extend special thanks to our chief guest of the day, Mr. Bobby Kuliakos, Director HR and Learning and Development, Forbes Marshall Group, who spared precious time and graced the occasion. And in fact, students, as you would observe, the day started with Comencer's 3E: engage, evolve, and embark. And it continued along. So I'll share a summary of that. Bobby Sir talked about how the environment had changed. He said the world has moved away from VUCA to BANI, BANI, right? So the environment is changing. You have to be very clear about the purpose. And if you're clear about the purpose, then the why, what, how of life, everything becomes clear. And you decide whether you want to be the rest, or you want to be the best, or you want to be the next. Sir, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I would also like to thank our guest of honor, Mr. Rajendra Kembagi, Head Employee Relations and Head Business HR for Communications at Tech Mahindra, for gracing this event. Sir said, at the beginning of this journey, you need to explore yourself. The world is full of exciting opportunities. There is no doubt of opportunities. So for you to grab opportunity, you need to explore yourself. And in the process of exploration, you need to enhance your knowledge, skills. So once you have a set of enhanced skills, you have opportunities coming your way. Sir, thank you so much for saying your words of wisdom. Now I want to extend a special thanks to our own Honorable Chairperson Sarita Ma'am for sharing her words of wisdom. Ma'am talked about the journey of life. Ma'am said it's not the journey of 2 years here. There are numerous journeys you are going to undertake in your life. So ensure you enjoy all your journeys, whether the 2 years PGDM journey or the life journey. There are journeys you have to enjoy every one of them. However, keep in mind, while you are undertaking the journey, you have to do something extra. Unless you do extra, if you have this 9 to 5 orientation, time orientation, you will not grow in life. So avoid time orientation, embrace task orientation, do extra and grow in life. That's the mantra from Sarita Ma'am. Thank you so much. An event like this takes tremendous efforts and immense planning, which was done by the entire fraternity of IS-based PGDM and my dear students of 22-24 batch. The dance performance by Aparna was electrifying. Thank you for that. And Soumya and Suvangi, you have been doing wonderful job, right? You are the stars of ISBS. God bless you. And can you have a special round of applause for the batch of 22-24? A special mention of our respected Executive Director, Dr. Pandit Bali sir, and Director IS-based PGDM, Dr. Renu Bhargava ma'am, for your august presence. Ma'am talked about managing emotions. There are going to be successes in life, there are going to be failures also. But across all times, you have to learn as to how do you manage your emotions. If you have to hold your emotions, then you come across successful. At the same time, you also ensure that you do not follow any shortcuts. Shortcuts are not sustainable. It's a very, very powerful mantra. Shortcuts are not going to put you in good state. So do not follow shortcuts and ensure you manage your work and life nicely. Ma'am, talk about balance of life. Ma'am, thank you so much for those wonderful words. Finally, I would like to thank all the trustees, Executive Director Placement Madhur ma'am, directors and principals of IGI who have blessed us today with their august presence. Thank you so much. I also thank the students of new batch for being a very wonderful audience. I'm sure you have got better ideas and insights to do your best at ISBS PGDM, and during the journey ahead, I would also like to share a quote like Kumar sir did at the beginning of this event. I mean, कुछ पंक्तियां हैं, quote नहीं पंक्तियां हैं. I am quoting volume correct, but yes. लाख दलदल हो पाँव जमाए रखना, लाख दलदल हो पाँव जमाए रखना, हाथ खाली ही सही ऊपर उठाए रखना। कौन कहता है दोस्त, कौन कहता है दोस्त कि छलनी में पानी रुक नहीं सकता, बस बर्फ जमने तक हौसला बनाए रखना। Thank you everyone. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom.
I would like to request all our respected dignitaries to pose for a group photograph on stage. Thank you, sir.
सर सर त्या नावात येत नाही नावाच येत सर
Thank you, ma'am.
We'll now have a break for lunch. We shall report back. Thank you. We shall report back at 1:45 p.m.
I request students to be seated until the dignitaries exit the auditorium. 4:30 sharp. So please be at the auditorium. Our speaker will be there. Thank you. Thank you all.